So this song features Marcus Lamkin
Who?
on hand claps,
Once again, who?
otherwise known as Shit Robot.
What are you talking about right now?
So
Can't unhear it.
This is a show about the 500 albums that Rolling Stone says are the best, and we're gonna talk about them ad nauseum. This is a show about the 500 albums that Rolling Stone says are the best, and we're gonna talk about them ad nauseum. This is a show about the 500 albums that Rolling Stone says are the best, and we're gonna talk about them ad nauseum. This is a show about the 500 albums that Rolling Stone says are the best, and we're gonna talk about them ad nauseum.
Welcome to the Backwards Beats podcast. I'm Carl Carter Fansteel.
I'm Dan Grapefruit Woodard.
And what's sitting in your pocket?
Some mayonnaise.
Oh, man, if you missed that episode, you may want to look back one here, my friends.
That's right. Fantastic sponsor.
Indeed.
Schemely with their pocket mayonnaise.
Anything Morty brings to the table is worth taking his money for.
It's a high quality item.
Indeed it is. It is August 18th. And, we're shooting on a Tuesday this evening because Dan is kind enough to accommodate me. Thank you, my friend.
We have a good opportunity coming up.
Indeed, we do.
Well, you do, right?
Well, I have a great opportunity.
I don't have
coming
anything.
Up. You're like, I'm not doing nothing tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But no, I have a fun one. So got to get out and stage. Looks like the weather will hold up too, which is nice.
That's good.
So we are a good handful of albums into this season now. I was just looking through the folder as we created the session.
Yeah, we've done a couple.
And I was reflecting on it today as well. And it's been a really good season of music.
It really has. We've only thumbs down one of the 7 albums.
That's pretty good. And they've been really diverse as well, which I've enjoyed. I mean, with the exception of the back-to-back Damon Albarns.
Right, yeah. But to start with Loretta Lynn, and last week was Pavement.
Yeah, in there we also had Pet Shop Boys, Tupac, Blur, Gorillaz.
James Brown.
Of course. And here we are. This would be LCD Soundsystem. The album is Sound of Silver. It is a release from 2007. It is 9 songs strong, and it weighs in at almost an hour, 56 minutes for 9 songs.
Well, they're long songs.
They are indeed.
They like to cook. This album represents the 433rd greatest album of all time, according to Rolling Stone magazine.
And this would be their 2023 publication.
That's correct. Thank God we preserved that, because I'm just waiting for the official list to get an update in like 2026 or.
Everybody's like, that's not the right one.
I know it's going to be, yeah. So we have to clarify. And thanks to the Wayback Machine and a few other places, they've preserved other versions of the list. Because every once in a while we looked at an album and it's like, I think it was the last album was like, it had dropped significantly.
Pavement was originally up in the 200s or something like that.
Yeah.
And it seems like, I don't think that there's an exact number of years until they refresh their lists and rankings, but it's over a decade.
Yeah, they did a 2020 version, and then a couple of banger albums came out, and like, oh,
oops, never mind.
Yeah.
It's under a decade.
But normally it is, though.
I would say before that, it was like 2007 or something, right?
2003, 2012,
okay.
2020. So yeah,
it's fairly wide gaps.
Yeah.
The problem is they're going to be bound for another list by the time we're like halfway through this project.
Right. And we're not changing course.
No, we can't do it. We can't do it.
Yeah.
What we could do in post, though, if we're still hungry for more abuse after 12 and a half years, is we could run what will then probably be a humanoid data person who chills in this room with us and extract everything we've already reviewed and find the new stuff and just keep rolling.
Right.
And then place it in 500 in our minds. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Because I love making promises for when I'm in my late 50s.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. So tell us a little bit about LCD Soundsystem.
Well, really, I think you can't talk about LCD Soundsystem unless you talk about James Murphy,
That's right.
because it's essentially him, even though there is a band.
There's bands in this world that have that. Like you could, I'd say Beck is a little more clear himself as a brand name, or Lenny Kravitz, though Beck will almost always have some of the same players in the realm.
Yeah.
This is considered a band in that same realm as well, right?
It is, but kind of like Nine Inch Nails as a band.
That's a much better example.
Yeah. So James Murphy grew up near Princeton, New Jersey, started playing music at a pretty young age, about 12 or 13. He was in this punk new wave band playing songs by the Violent Femmes and A Flock of Seagulls.
Okay.
That's a combination.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Neither band I consider like punk.
Femmes are punk adjacent.
Femmes are like heroin punk.
Yeah.
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 Flock? Not really.
No, I'm not. That's new wave.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. So he moved to New York at the age of 19 and initially thought he was going to be like a singer, guitarist kind of guy, but he realized he was better at drumming.
Yeah.
He studied English at NYU. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat here. He wanted to write
Pocket mayonnaise.
Yeah, I need some pocket mayonnaise for my throat. So he wanted to write, but he also wanted to pursue music. By the age of 22, he had a slightly alternate career path, and he was asked to submit some scripts for what he believed was the It's Gary Shandling show. He put that off. He's like, yeah, he wanted to start a band and do some other things. Never really followed through, only realizing that it wasn't the Gary Shandling show. It was Seinfeld.
Dum, 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 dum.
Yeah, so he squandered that opportunity, but moved on to other things.
Oof.
What a weird confusion.
Yeah, that's not even close.
It's not.
How many seasons did Seinfeld run?
Ooh.
It's like
Like 11, 9?
Yeah, I would say I think it's closer to a dozen than not.
Yeah. So he spent much of the 90s as a drummer and an engineer, studio builder in the New York scene. And he played in Pony and Speed King. And he worked with a bunch of artists, including Six Finger Satellite. And his early identity wasn't really as a front man. He really worked in clubs a lot. He preferred drumming and engineering and making records. But he did have a job assisting David Holmes on the album Bow Down to the Exit Sign. I don't know if you've heard that album.
No.
Pretty interesting album. I've been doing the research. And I introduced him to the British producer, Tim Goldsworthy. And with Jonathan Galkin, they founded DFA, which is the production company behind this album and the record label behind this album.
Got it.
I don't know what DFA stands for. I probably should have Googled that. And
Down for anything.
Probably. Yeah. We'll fact check that. And it really connected sort of like downtown rock, disco, house, post-punk dance culture, which there's
everything.
That's all in there. Yeah.
Literally everything.
And their early work was with Rapture and Juan McLean. It helped make this sort of cross-pollination really visible in the early 2000s in New York.
Dude, Juan McLean's awesome.
Yeah.
I have Juan McLean stuff.
Yeah, doesn't he have it's not the song American Pie?
I don't think so.
That's not Juan McLean.
No. South American Pie. Oh man, that's good.
Yeah, talk about a long song.
Dios mío.
Not farce. So when Murphy began DJing records such as Can, ESG, and Liquid Liquid, he felt he finally found like a cultural role in New York. He was becoming sort of a big thing. But after that, he saw other DJs were kind of playing the same material. They were copying him. He started to feel replaceable.
Posers.
So he turned the sort of like jealous, self-aware reflection into 2002's Losing My Edge.
Okay.
And so that really launched LCD Soundsystem and making his sort of contradiction explicit. He was a 30-something newcomer.
Mm-hmm. Which is, yeah, in its own right.
Right. He was anxious that he was already becoming obsolete. And so a lot of that anxiety makes its way into some of his music.
Sure.
So then we can skip ahead. They made the self-titled album 2005 with the hit that most people know.
Daft Punk is playing at my house. Is that the one?
That's the one, yeah. Yep. But it was this album here that really kind of raised the stakes for him.
So this would be the junior album, we would call it, not the freshman or the sophomore.
Correct. Yes.
That's kind of the one. So like you see this trend across the board where it's like you make your money or you like get your chunk of fame. So now what do you do with that third effort?
Right.
Or maybe you get it the first time around, lucky you, right?
Yeah.
What do you do with your next effort? You find the one that stamped it, and there's really only two paths that you see artists take. Some try and do the same thing over and over again, and some really try and lift it. There's a third path. Some go totally left field, right? How far do you steer? And there's a middle lane that seems to be the one that the positive stories are told about.
Yeah.
You evolve, but you don't go too far. You can't lose your fan base, but also you got to do something new.
Yeah. Yeah. So this excuse me, I am struggling here with the frog in the throat. Maybe I need to take a break here. So this album was released March 12, 2007. It was recorded at Longview Farm near Brookfield, Massachusetts, and DFA Studios in New York City. And so produced by the DFA, James Murphy, and mixed alongside Dave Sardi. A lot of people on the album. And it's interesting. We'll talk about a couple of the players in here because there's one that I think is really, really interesting that you'll be surprised by.
All right, word.
Yeah. This album is interesting. This is going to be interesting when we talk about greatest albums of all time. It did quite well. It was like number 46 on the Billboard 200, selling 15,000 copies in the first week. For this genre, I think that's actually pretty remarkable.
I agree.
But it's not remarkable in the grand scheme of music.
If you look at 2007 explicitly too, we had already ridden the wave of electronic experimental in weird ways. Because like Fatboy Slim had really, really great success in the late 90s into the 2000s. I believe on kind of the same train, you had things like Chemical Brothers.
Yeah.
Moby, for better or for worse.
Yep.
And a lot of electronic music that had some of the same elements of this, synthesizers down the middle, new house beats, which were just ripped off disco beats.
Yep.
Like avalanches and stuff like that, all started to move into that like Tiesto era. Yeah. Everything became really, really pretty house in the mainstream, the money faucet, right? It wouldn't be much longer after this where people were like, the old idea of partying Ibiza became a thing in your head. And so the question is where does this fit when it's not riding that same wave?
Right, because the punk influence is undeniable.
Yeah, and so there's a punk influence and there's an entirely separate rock influence than the punk influence.
Yep.
It's a very strong identity, but without a home.
Yeah.
Except New York feels like the home, ironically.
Yes, I will say this album, for some reason, feels like New York to me.
It feels like,
but not in the way Steely Dan feels like New York to me.
No. Steely Dan feels like classy, jazzy New York. Mm-hmm. This feels like three dudes living in a shitty house with exposed brick wall, songs made at 1 a.m.
Yep.
Actual underground in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this really sort of canonized the idea of a dance punk record.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is pretty cool. I think it's important to note, a lot of people will say that the LCD Soundsystem formed it. I'd say they're highly influential. They were also, it's sort of, let me say it different ways. It's overstated their influence in certain cases because they were a catalyst here. But there's definitely the Rapture. There is, I think you say it, Chick, 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 3 exclamation points. I don't know how to say that band's name. I'm familiar with them. I never had to say them out loud. Soul Wax, and of course, Mr. South American Pie.
Juan
McClain.
The Juan McClain, baby.
So they're all in this soup together.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's how New York tends to run,
yeah.
right? You'd imagine these people being able to rub shoulders very easily.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of gritty.
Yeah. So commercially, it did well. It didn't sell a ton, but that's not necessarily surprising. I don't know where the numbers are. I think it's maybe 750,000.
May I also just insist that this record dropped. I don't know why I feel like I'm defending it, but I am.
That's not a defense.
To some extent.
Yeah.
This record dropped at the time when we were truly making the transition from hard media to digital media.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know that tracking was probably at its most effective back then. Like, this is the kind of thing that if you wanted this digital, you're either ripping it manually because you copied it on a CD,
Right.
and were able to then to take it and convert it to MP3 or CDA or whatever you're going to do, right? This doesn't strike me as the kind of thing that was banging out on iTunes and being tracked. And where you would get MP3s from back in the day during this time, I remember. Mm-hmm. Lars Ulrich remembers.
Yeah. Napster.
Yeah, and so I think...
Or LimeWire.
Yeah, LimeWire and Napster.
Probably when LimeWire in this time.
Any of those sharing pieces, the piracy. And if you look at the crowd this was catering to as well, young, tech forward, I have a feeling that whatever they say the sales numbers on this were not probably representative of the actual ownership numbers.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or listenership. How many of these tunes were mixed into blends from DJs, things like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. We mentioned the Chemical Brothers in a couple of episodes now.
Hey, girls.
Yeah. And I happened to be able, it was in your ears a while back. I was listening to Loops of Fury. Mm-hmm. I'm curious if they make this list.
Oh, I want to say no, but not because it would bring me any joy. I just don't know that it was impactful enough.
I feel like
I've been surprised with some of these choices before. So what?
Yeah, I feel like Dig Your Own Hole was pretty popular.
Like popular enough to be in the 300s or below.
Right, that's the question. But
because
they were doing some of this stuff before.
I feel like for a publication like Rolling Stone, and now I'm just playing, hand face down towards my opponent.
Yeah,
Rolling Stone being said person or said entity.
Yep.
This is the kind of hipster niche bullshit that they really love, right?
Not block rock and beats.
I just don't. Yeah, exactly.
But that song was played everywhere in the song.
Of course, dude. I'll never forget watching some dude in Gone in 60 Seconds smash a brick through a window of a car to it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
God, so many good car theft movies in the early 2000s, guys.
Yep.
Can we go back to that part of life? So much better.
We might be done with the MCU, not thematically or in our hearts, even though there's a new one coming out. Or is it out? Is Doctor Doom's one out?
Hell if I know, man. They fell off hard a few back.
Yeah. I think that's a good start.
Yeah, I'd say so, man. Let's clear the frogs from our throats and go eat some of that pie.
Okay.
Olé.
Olé.
Hey, sweetheart. Let your Uncle Alice take that for you. You can go try on that sweet little size 16. Hey, little man. Take a pull on this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, for those times when your little hellion is losing his mind at a Ross Dress for Less, we've created Baby's First Vape. In this day and age, a simple binky won't cut it. Your smooth-brained window licker needs something with more punch. And hey, who says doctors and jort-wearing worm-brained sloth cosplayers should have all the fun medicating these little punks? We've got carts for all situations, starting with our most popular blend, Crib Locked. Our signature nicotine blend is infused with baby Benadryl and Southern Comfort. It soothes that selfish little Mardi Gras mistake that doesn't quite look like his father. I put that shit on everything. Or you could try our Wrigley Juice. It's a 1.2 million Scoville unit Trinidad scorpion pepper extract mixed with a couple of bumps of Carney grade PCP. For when they're dragging ass and you need to get to the slippery nipple for amateur night. Those jazz lessons will pay off soon, honey. And this next one is real popular on Little St. James. Lapine de Gascon French bred heritage rabbit pheromones blended with Black Stallion ultra gas station sex pills. This is a jumpstart on that arranged marriage and your early retirement. Hey, that's not a pull toy. Don't yank it. Caroline, take this thing back.
God damn it, Jesus Christ!
You can keep the baby vape.
So immediately gonna go get another one. No, the MacBook is for inside and photo editing and quick audio editing. And now this old machine can finally get replaced.
Nice.
Yep. And it's going to become a little server in the back closet.
That's great. You know, that makes me think of something.
What?
Makes me think that you can normalize. It doesn't make you feel alive.
Get innocuous.
Yes.
That's a great first song title. You know, it's not every day you catch a song that's an opener that's 7 minutes and 11 seconds long.
Yeah.
So you kind of know you're in for it.
Yeah.
Now, I want to preface this entire review with something. Coming into this album, if you listen to the end of the last album's review, which was Pavement, right? Crooked Rain, Crooked Rain. A fine album, I may add.
Fine album.
When you do the whole, here's what we're listening to next week, I went, I have some, but I'd say limited exposure to LCD Soundsystem.
Same here.
For some reason, James Murphy, in my mind, prior to listening to this entire piece, just kind of annoyed me. I don't know why. He just seemed a little pretentious. You know what? You reminds me of, who's that comic no one likes who does the karaoke in cars with people?
Oh,
British dude. He's actually a insufferable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corden, James.
James Corden.
Thank you.
Yeah. Corden.
Corden. I don't know.
Corden. Yeah, James Corden.
Gordon Dallas Multipass.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Some of those singing in cars is pretty funny, though.
Agreed. But apparently he's like
insufferable.
actually like not a good person at all.
Yeah, he's like a Rosie or an Ellen.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Furthermore, he over the years, I think overexposure leads to lack of charm. I don't know what it might be. For some reason, James Murphy always seemed a little too to touch, right? And I'd hear the music and be like, see, I don't get it. Like, how are you here? There's people who hold themselves with the same air, the aforementioned Lenny Kravitz from earlier, right? Where I'm like, yeah, because you could really back it up. Like the badass persona in his case, where he just kind of always looks like he's ready to rock.
Yeah.
Here, I just was like, oh man, this is like some like hipster shit.
You're kind of a nerd.
Yeah, exactly. And also like, you're not a good singer, really.
He doesn't think so.
But I know that now.
Yeah.
I know that now. And what I had to get over the course of this week was, first I'd say, shut up, Carl, listen to the album. And like, you don't know. And then over the course of the week, by listening to this album, I started to see all these things that I started to find like, oh, I would do that. Oh, that makes sense to me. And then you look at our age groups, not too far off.
Yeah.
My mom also gifted me this book, which is called The Four Horsemen. Are you aware that he's a restaurateur?
No.
He's a part owner of a very high-end but cool restaurant in New York, of course. And it's great because it was talking about how him, his wife, and two of their friends, one who unfortunately passed away, who was the head of their wine program, and then this chef that used to like come to like their apartment, listen to records, and like cook for them, started this really kick-ass restaurant with this incredible wine program, how they want it to be and how they designed it. And like my thing that I do, my daydream, and you know this about me, I sit around and I plan fake restaurants in my head all day long. It's bad. And so I read
your hot dog restaurant.
Of course, dude. Dude, I got so many. Dude, you leave my glizzies alone. But the kicker here is I read that thing cover to cover, and the back half is just a cookbook. I still read it cover to cover. And watching him also be a patron of the arts, and this was 2 months ago, and I got this book. I took it to Maine with me. And then listening to this album, I was like, this has to do it. If I walk out of this and I don't like this, I'm allowed to not like this.
Yep.
And it was really, I don't know, it was refreshing for me to yet again be wrong, which I'm very pleased to be wrong in this circumstance. I'm sorry, James, for my thoughts of you ahead of time. I now think that you are exactly where you need to be, and I think all of the pomp and circumstance was earned. I think there's a lot of creativity sitting here and a lot of messaging that I like. That's how I'm starting off.
Well, that's great. That's great. I didn't have the same perception Well, I guess I had a little bit of that same perception, but I had some experience. I've heard some of these
See,
songs.
I feel
know.
like this music was really hitting for your age group.
Yeah.
I feel like when that first album came out, that's back when you would go like into Boston still and hang out. When the first album came out, I was in 11th grade.
Right.
I just wasn't there for it.
Yeah.
And this music sounds, what generation are you?
X.
It sounds Gen X to me. With just, and as a
It does.
old millennial, I can cusp up into it.
Yeah.
And that's what I had to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, get innocuous.
Get innocuous. So right out of the gate, you have this drum beat, and I'm not going to say something here, but go ahead and grab that guitar right behind you, because the drum beat is not the same drum beat as the song I'm about to. So the drum beat is not the correct drum beat for the song I'm going to ask you to play in a second. Carl has no idea what I'm asking him to play.
No, I do not.
So about this tempo, I want you to do D-A-A. D-A-A.
Just the notes or the chords?
Chords.
1, 2, 3.
No. D-A-A.
Oh.
Try barring it up in the middle. What song is that?
It could be a few.
Could it be Train in Vain by The Clash?
Could be.
So the drum beat is that rhythm, and every time I hear it, all I can think of is Train in Vain.
Okay.
Stand By Me is the name of the song.
Totally.
Off of
Okay,
London
now I
Calling.
hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. What was I thinking? I was thinking like a Stone song or
Yeah.
or let me take the rhythm of the night. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
into it.
Here we go.
No, this tune, the piece here that strikes
The song,
me.
sorry, the song sounds nothing like that. It's that drum beat. Every time I hear it, I'm
That's good, dude. That's really good.
the harmonica.
There's layers to the song though that just build and build and build and build, and then the first choral thing that you hear,
Yeah. Okay.
you're just like, I don't know what I'm getting into at all, do I?
No, because it's a low harmony
Yep.
that could be sung by David Bowie.
Yeah, potentially.
Actually, it's not. It doesn't quite have it, but it's adjacent.
There's 2 or 3 vocal things on this album that are Bowie-esque.
You'll get some Bowie. You'll get some Talking Heads for sure.
You have to in this entire, especially in this genre and this year.
Yeah.
It's like if you were doing anything that we now call indie, you were compared to Talking Heads.
Yeah. Yeah. And so vocally, you also have Nancy Wang adding her vocals. She's a female voice essentially throughout this entire album. She just adds such a really cool layer to his vocal performance, because we mentioned he's not the strongest singer, and this is more of a robotic kind of sort of track as far as the vocals are concerned. But where she adds in her layers is you almost get like Kim from the Pixies.
I was gonna say this Pixies is the clear comparison here.
I can't believe I can't remember her last name.
I don't know her last name.
Yeah.
I do know.
I'll get it. Yeah. Stop.
What a great thing to keep in your recording.
Yeah.
This tune's great, it's one of the few on the album, foreshadowing, that earns its time log. They actually use the 7 minutes, what I consider appropriately, to establish it layers in, layers out, a fun melody, and lots of energy going on.
Kim Deal.
There you go. Well done. Well done, dude. Did you have to Google it? Or
Yeah, I had to Google it. Like, because I had the wrong name, right rhyme. It's not that. So it was a Thiel or Steel. Like I had something
Just
rhyming.
walking through doing the ABC game.
Yeah, and
The other piece of this song that grabs me, because it's the opening song, and this one actually pretty good, 17.5 million listens on it, on good old Spotify, is you hear the breadth of the instruments, the entire soundscape that you're using, and there's this really nice balance of electronically generated stuff, But then immediately, and here's where Carl's number one bubble popped, is I always just kind of assumed because of the past albums that they are much more electro heavy. And they're just like, man, those drums certainly sound real.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And by 3 songs in, you figure it out and you're like, those drums are real.
Yeah.
There's notable, actual analog voice and guitar things going on. So it's a neat blend that you're ending up with here.
Yeah. About 5 minutes in, there's a cool guitar part that comes in with the synth bass. And I want to revisit something we talked about when we talked about the Pet Shop Boys. Pet Shop Boys. One of your gripes is the lack of dynamics. In the first song, we kind of got into this thing about dynamics. And I think your main gripe about the dynamics, because as we went on, there actually technically are dynamics on the album.
Technically, yes.
But I think what you were talking about is with the synths, they weren't using their velocity.
Indeed.
And kind of the same thing here. There's a synth part, which is pretty intense. That's just sort of beating you over the head. And the dynamics are achieved through fading. So there are dynamics on the album for sure, on the song for sure. But if you listen carefully, that same synth patch, which is probably just a loop, is just being turned down, and because it's a DJ.
Oh, he's a DJ.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about the Pet Shop Boys is like they were happy to use these big gushy chords and saturate it, but it wasn't. Yeah, yes, indeed, it was. Of course, the synths that I think I noted first, but also vocally.
Yeah.
Whereas here, there's a lot of inflection in the vocals, different styles being used.
Yeah.
I think I thrive on things when there's a lot more variety.
Yeah.
And the Pet Shop Boys they fell into the same hole over and over again.
Right.
You can't really accuse LCD Soundsystem of that.
Not at all. But the reason I wanted to bring it up is we talked about the velocity. So with most instruments, the harder you pluck or hit or whatever, the more intense the sound is. And keyboards, even synthesizers, many of them, same thing. Not all.
Indeed.
And so when we say velocity, that's what we're talking about, is how much dynamics are in the performance of the piece versus when I was saying, well, there's dynamics in the song because they layered the arrangement, and it clearly gets quieter when there's fewer instruments.
That was it. It was sum of instruments equaled volume in that, like literally volume in both meanings.
Yeah.
In the Pet Shop Boys, were here. It's so much more DJ-esque actually, and even the natural instruments are playing within that same rules.
Yeah, they get cross-faded.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess that's the engineering side of him, making good choices there.
Yeah.
I think it's a great opening song. I think it really sets the energy. It leaves you going, I have no idea. Like if this is your first, ears on it, you don't really know where you're going. You can't paint this album at all.
Especially with this sort of dissonant string ending
and they'll use them over again. The string ending's so cool. How did they source that?
Yeah.
I was like, is that a sample? Did you have people come in? Because there's all those crazy pull-up like swoops. It's really hard to tell. If it is a sample, that's an impressive pull.
Yeah, especially for 2007.
Yeah, it's clear as day. I thought there was a lot of finesse in that. And so happy that there was.
Yep.
And then you drop right into Billie Jean. I mean, time to get away.
Billie Jean drum beat, yes.
It's great. It's a drum beat everybody in the world will know, and notably Billie Jean, but a gazillion songs kick off with this groove.
Super dry.
No, so great. And this is where you go, live drums.
For sure.
I thought you were electro.
Yep. And then it's weird. He uses this falsetto, which is, I feel like this is like if Prince were trying to be in Can.
Yeah.
This
has so many different singers. And by singers, I almost don't mean it as in traditional singers, rule breaky singers, ones who aren't traditionally known for their timbre or their pitch or their technique, frankly, but more the character singers, right? Like a lot like guys like a Prince, like a Bowie, this over exaggerated, and he's just saying funny stuff and a lot of inflection.
Yeah. So the difference here is he's more like them than like a Grace Slick, who actually has like chops and technique. There's no technique to
be. He's the Anthony Kiedising. Like he's relying on another kind of sound on his voice to get his message across.
Yeah.
And it's truly him. I mean, it's not produced.
Yeah.
Like it's just him into a condenser mic. You can tell.
Yeah.
And he's got like this really crazy kind kind of like cadence going on.
Yeah.
A little manic.
A little manic.
Really like it.
A lot more talking heads in this one.
Totally. Oh yeah. How could I forget? Like that's perfect.
Yeah. And then there's a great cowbell feature, which turns into a go-go bell solo.
It does indeed. It was so funny. I was sitting there yesterday driving. I was like, "What do you call those bells? What do you call those bells?" On the tip of my
Go-go bell.
tongue.
Yep. Go-go bell.
This song,
Which are throughout the album.
yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's just a great. It's a nice texture to have hand percussion.
Yep.
And it's not your most common hand percussion, which is great. Though everybody had the go-go bell samples on their childhood Casio keyboards.
Right. But these are actual go-go
Real
bells.
deal. Yeah, you can hear the resonance.
Yep.
Not actually a ton of elements in the song. A lot of restraint in this song.
But there are some really cool guitar parts that
Totally.
weave in and out, like really well played and performed. I don't know if they're samples or loops, or they could be loops.
They're clean,
but
whatever
but
they are.
Yeah,
They're clean.
yeah. So it could be performed as a loop,
And then pushed in.
right? Like the Jimmy Chamberlain 1979 is a drum loop of him playing the drums,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Effectively, if you listen to Incubus's Drive, Jose that claims the same thing.
Yeah. Every breath you take
Yeah, true.
is a drum sample, but it's Stuart Copeland's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this song to me is one of my favorite on the album because you get to meet James as a character for the first time.
Yeah.
And because he's like right up in your grill.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not relying on a lot of tricks. They just have a really good percussive wall.
Yeah.
And this song to me is infinitely loopable.
Yeah, for sure. This is really cool. It has a false ending.
It does, indeed. One of two on the album, I believe.
Yep. And this song, maybe I'll wait on the reference to that because I think it comes in. It'll come in later. We'll talk about another band.
Heard.
But yeah.
But no, that was packed with great artist names. I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're coming off of the second tune into the third song, which I believe is the best title in this album and probably in his entire catalog.
Yeah, it's the new national anthem.
North American Scum. 31.5 million listens, perched at only 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Way to put in the effort, boy.
So this song features Marcus Lamkin
Who?
on hand claps,
Once again, who?
otherwise known as Shit Robot.
What are you talking about right now?
So when I was looking at the liner notes, I saw that this person was marked for hand claps. I'm like, why would you? I mean, obviously he performed on it. It's fine to be in the liner notes, but that seems so specific. So I clicked on his name, like, who's Marcus Lamkin, who only did hand claps, and I go to the Wikipedia page and
Let me see. Shit Robot. Please read us a passage from Wikipedia.
so Marcus Lamkin, born in 1971, better known by the pseudonym Shit Robot, is an Irish electronic musician and DJ.
Okay. And he's just like crashing on James's couch that day.
While working as a DJ in New York in 2000, he befriended James Murphy, later of LCD Soundsystem, and they started a partnership. It's just so funny because
That's such a great, fun thing to do with your friend. Also, this wiki is Shit Robot. You're looking at me initially, and I'm like, am I supposed to know who this person is?
if you knew, I would have been shocked. But
If I said I knew, I would have been lying.
yeah, we do have to hit the explicit button, but it's the name of a group.
Oh, no. That shit is already fly.
Yep.
That's great. That's great. Oh, that will not soon be forgotten.
So you take Shit Robot's hand claps with a true Casio keyboard, right? These are Casio keyboard drums.
Sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm bought in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put it number 9 on the list all time.
Yeah. So this is really, this is not an anti-American song, but this is talking about American party lifestyle and how maybe, like, to Europeans, maybe we're a bit much.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't overtake it. It's like this wild political message.
No.
Frankly, because back then I think we were kind of a little more chill.
Well,
but
people still had sympathy for us because 9/11 wasn't that far. And they were even there,
Precisely.
so.
I think he says some pretty clear lines, especially about how the Spanish think about us.
But they get to go all night, and then Germany gets another day.
Indeed. And I was just like, oh wow, listen to the perspective.
Yeah.
It's crazy because the one reference I pull from this immediately, I listened to this song, I listened to it wind up a little bit. Actually, two. It reminded me a little bit of the Gorillaz because of the, there's something about having like the pre-done bossa nova 2 on a Lowry organ or whatever you want to call that at the beginning. And then you hip to the band TV on the radio.
Yep.
Very much fall into that, like kind of, they're like noise rock corner too.
Yeah.
And big on kind of this building walls of sound. This reminds me of both of those in their own way.
I agree. The bass sound that comes in when the vocals come in are like fat and squishy. I don't even know how else to describe it. It's just fat and squishy.
It's dope.
Yeah.
It drives that song real nicely.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And I guess is that Nancy doing his background vocals there during the choruses? Those are perfect.
It's fantastic. Yeah. You know that New York is the greatest if you can get someone to pay the rent.
I love that line. I love that line. It sticks out. Here's the thing too. You can really hear every word this dude says on every song. Yep. Like his messaging is clear, easy to hear. He's writing in a clever way, but you don't have to be a laureate to figure it out either.
Yeah.
You just have to maybe make sure, you're tuned in for a little more than just like, kind of ambient driving and you're good to go.
I mean, that does sum up New York in many ways. That sentence.
Really good.
So during the band's farewell performance, because they split and then they were on like a 3-year break and then like, well, maybe we'll do another thing. But anyway, there's a Madison Square Garden.
I've seen video footage of that concert.
So where they're joined in this song by Arcade Fire.
Yes.
And they also did, and there's some Arcade Fire.
I didn't know it was this song though, but I remember watching, a little stoned, a lot of this stuff, trying to get behind LCD Soundsystem. But this was years ago. Yeah. What I did discover on that live performance was they invite Reggie Watts on stage for a song, and they slay it. It's fantastic. It's somewhere in one of my Spotify folders.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a good song. This is funny because this is not one of their longer songs, but for some reason, every time I listen to it, I feel like I've been listening to it for a while, and I don't know why that is. It's not a bad thing.
Here's what I think makes this song feel longer is because more of this song than not is spent singing and lyricizing.
Yeah.
Whereas in the first two, not quite.
Yeah.
Especially not in Get Knockwiz.
Right.
I think that the first third of this album, which is these 3 songs we just listened to, standalone, is absolutely incredible. I love all of the energy that's packed into it specifically. If I had to choose one word, it's like that energy that's thrown into it. I move the whole time through these first 3. They're very distinct for me.
Yeah.
That song had 31.5 million listens. Not bad. You scoot to song number 4 though, called Someone Great, and you go up to almost 83 million listens.
It's understandable. This is a pretty touching song, actually.
Say more.
Don't you think? I mean, well, first of all, you get this, you start off with these pulsing keys and the synth bass, and I feel like this feels like a rainy day.
It does.
Right? And this is a bereavement of a breakup.
Yep.
Right? And I really like the vocal performance, but it feels very familiar, but I can't place like what this sounds like. But the thing that
I know what it sounds like.
What's that?
It sounds like newer Pet Shop Boys.
It could be. But the thing with this song, what I really like about this is it actually doesn't build until you get to like 5 minutes in, till you finally get to the hook.
And even that's not like a big old build.
No, it's just when Someone Great is gone is the hook.
Yep.
And so that's what I feel is touching, because you're sitting there like ruminating about this, and you're not really escalating at all. And even though it's a subtle escalation, it's mostly just in pitch. Like it's not really.
No, it doesn't. It's not like new sound sources are added. It's not like new frequencies are really played with. Though in pitch, technically.
Yeah.
See, that's so funny. You're more patient than me here. This is the first point where I fall off because I'm bored out of my effing skull for the first 5 minutes. I do agree with you. I actually think the last, I know 2 minutes of the song are where I want to dial in.
Yeah.
And I actually like the first 30-ish seconds too of setup. Mm-hmm. I think the bones are there, but my God, it just slogs on and on for me.
Yeah. But I'll say in that first 30 seconds, you have these synth layers that start building.
They're cool.
Yeah.
I like the soundscape.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. I needed variety.
Yeah. I can see this song being quite enjoyable in a club where you don't, because in a club, if you're just there dancing, a lot of times you don't get that much variety. You're just there dancing, sweating, and doing that.
You know how I know you haven't been to a club recently?
Well, I'll tell you this. My club days are definitely long gone because my experience in the clubs were really in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Mid to late 90s. I really stopped going. And I didn't really enjoy them much. I much prefer going to a bar where there's music and dancing than going to a club and being butts to nuts, sweating my rear end off with music that's so freaking loud and just nothing but flashing lights that even the people I'm with, I'm like, I don't need to be here with anybody. I could be here by myself and it would make a
not
difference.
matter. Yeah.
So that's not my life.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm no club monster or anything
Yeah.
like that. The best days I've ever had at the clubs were in the early 2000s when I could first start to get into clubs.
Yeah.
And going and hearing like that peak early 2000 EDM I was
Yeah.
telling you about before it got real wishy-washy.
Yeah.
And going to like Love and DC and stuff like that. Great experience. And just dancing. Just reckless abandon dancing. The reason I made the joke about clubs now is every club I've tried to be at or get dragged to after hours with my friends. Now DJs play about 30 seconds of a song at most.
Right.
And then move to the next one. They're going through 250 titles a night
Yeah.
easily. It's insane how long they won't stay on the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they want to throw this on for 30, 45 seconds, it's sick. But by the time you pull out your phone to do the Shazam on the thing to figure out what they got, they're also in the next song.
Yeah.
It's incredibly how manic it's become.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's just short attention spans now. Anyway, I digress. Sorry.
So yes, coming in at the time when this was, I can see it being enjoyable in there.
Yeah.
But I don't mind sitting in the space. This is my favorite, but I think it's touching.
This is where I finally fall off. I think the first three really grip me, and I'm not crapping on this song by any means. It's just like I kind of got bored with it. I diligently listened to it in its entirety 1, 2, 3 times. And I remember at the end of the third one being like, this is boring to me. Because I really wanted to get it, and I was like, what am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? I was like, you know what? I'm definitely allowed to be wrong, often wrong. I was like, I'm also allowed to be right too. Like if this isn't striking me,
Yeah.
and I've really tried, which I really, really did. Because I was like, I'm worried that I'm like someone who's more deep than me is going to get this and I won't. And that's probably what happened.
I don't think it's a depth thing. I think it's sitting in a space.
Yeah. Well, Lord knows how good I am at that.
Yeah.
I can't even sit in the same bar during my set breaks. I
Right.
have to like run across the street or to a 7-Eleven just to get out of there.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Also 6 minutes, 30 seconds. We're up there in time. It really takes its time to get there. Not nearly as long as its next friend though, which is All My Friends, song number 5.
Which has even more listens.
How about that? 104 million. Good on them.
Yeah.
And this is almost 8 minutes long, 7:42.
Yep.
I was kind of astonished with how much this sounds like the Killers. And by that I mean they had that whole era, right?
Yep.
The Strokes, the Killers, the whole like revival of rock.
Yeah.
That didn't quite scrape back into like super late Stones. That whole rock. Who was the other one? Julian Casablancas.
Yep.
I guess that was the Strokes.
Yeah.
All of that sound. Everything sounds like that.
Yeah.
This sounds like that.
And this is, did we say the name of the song?
Yeah, this is All of My Friends.
Yes. Yeah.
All My Friends.
All My Friends. Yeah.
And I was like, oh snap, this is a rock song.
Yeah. This sounds like Arcade Fire with a subtle hint of U2.
Precisely. Arcade Fire, also in that same genre.
Yep.
And I was just like, this is supposed to be an electro album. This is where my brain broke the first time.
It's a 2-chord song.
Yeah.
1 and 4.
Yeah. I like it better than Someone Great. it still doesn't match the same intensity and the songwriting that the first three have for me. But it was nice to hear something totally off the ramp. If you look down the line, you know, there really aren't any repeatsies going on here. It's like we're playing with different genres.
Yeah. What's interesting to me is I had to tap tempo this thing because it feels like it speeds up, and it does not. I tap tempo this entire darn song. You know,
I was going to say, if there's one thing you should know about James Murphy, I bet the whole damn album's on the grid.
I'm sure. Yeah. Well,
Because I'm pretty sure he could do this entire set on MCC.
yeah. Yes. But for some reason, I think it's just the layers and the mixing. Like it feels like this thing's leaning forward the entire time, but it's so subtle. It's not like Arcade Fire where they speed up.
Actually speed up.
Which is worth mentioning since it sounds like one of their songs a little bit. And it's mostly the vocal performance. And again, this is like Bad Night Out.
Yep.
You know, oof, did I say that?
Yeah. I think that a piece of this, even though the song doesn't fully capture my attention, something notable is I think the production on this is really cool.
Yeah.
Great job of being full and bare bones all at the same time somehow. Sounding really like Basement authentic, but stupid clean about it.
Yeah.
It's really like this like juxtaposition. You're just like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting song. I do like this one. And we talked about like, what do we call it? What did I call it? I called it extroverted versus introverted music when
That's smart.
right. And this album here is I think so far is a good listen when you're paying attention, and also isn't boring when it's playing in the background.
No, I found this to be very pleasant in the background.
Yeah.
And even on the two so far that I think I've given a little more criticism to, there is something to listen to. And honestly, you can dial in on these two. These two are more story forward.
Yeah.
So and I've said probably a dozen times on this podcast over the past year and a half.
Yeah.
I'm not always the most attentive story listener.
Yeah.
That's why I don't give a shit about Dylan. It's like I have to pay a lot of attention. I always listen for soundscape first, production, performance on the instruments. I'll listen to timbre and tone of vocals before I actually sit down and listen to the words.
Yeah.
And so for all you journalers out there, you're going to find a lot here
For sure.
in the center of this album.
Yeah. Yeah. These two songs, I think, tell a nice story.
Yep.
And what's interesting is I haven't dug into the lyrics deeply enough, but let's just walk through the song titles. Get Innocuous. Now it's time to get away. We're partying so hard. North American Scum. Someone Great. All My Friends. I feel like then we move on. I feel like there's at least a thematic arc carved in the order of the songs. It's not a concept by any stretch, but this is potentially, I don't know.
I want to agree
potentially a
with
night
you,
out.
though I don't have the evidence to
Yeah.
support it.
Me either. I'm kind of making this up really on the fly.
There is a general theme though, and it's for some reason, and it's just painted all over this album.
Yeah.
Both because they've said it, they're not really pushing it in your face, but you still feel like it's so heavily cinematically New York driven.
Yeah.
To the way I see it in my head.
Yeah.
What does post Y2K New York feel like? For some reason, it's just the tone of this whole album does feel very much that way.
Yeah.
Because you can turn right on a different street and boom, you're in a new neighborhood and okay,
Yeah.
this is the feeling of that. And it's but it's from the perspective of a fucking chunky white guy. And you're just like, yeah, it doesn't have to be overdone. They're not trying to show you a cityscape. They're trying to show you a week in the life of is I guess where I'd more usher folks to.
Yeah.
There's almost like disappointment and hope throughout the entire album.
I agree.
Had a good time for a break?
I think it is.
Lovely.
As you venture close to me, you fear you will get burned. I'll tell you with poetry the things you haven't learned. My song may be a vessel to transport you far away. My flame can't hold a candle to that spark of youthful rage. Set to forge a trail, no one could dare stand in my way. No direction, star or sun to tell me how to play. Knowing I would be undone, I moved on anyway. I thought I saw the future, but I never saw today. I wrote the book on burning, going down in flames. Going up in smoke wasn't part of my game. I rode the blaze of glory, I'm left with clouds of shame. Going up in smoke. The struggle can be thrilling and there's comfort in the chase. There's peace in accepting that it's already too late. As I saw my world splinter, the earth began to crack. I reveled in the fantasy that all would see the crash. I realized I was after nothing just to make it mine. A load of something someone left I'd have to leave behind. I put in so much effort and at the end of the line, I'll be the one lying there, that's all I'm gonna find. I wrote the book I'm burning, going down in flames. Going up in smoke wasn't part of my game. I rode the blaze of glory, I'm left with clouds of shame. Going up in smoke. Hit him one time with the Hit him one time with the Hit him one time with the wrote the book I'm burning, going down in flames. Going up in smoke wasn't part of my game.
That was Going Up in Smoke by Ben Deary. You can check him out at bendearymusic.com. BenDearie music.com.
So, question for you.
Hit me.
Mayonnaise and French fries.
I think it all depends on the quality of the mayonnaise first, French fry second. Mm-hmm. If you like tried to like literally like go into random guy's Hellman's jar, I'm probably not down. If I'm eating like, you know, Dutch mayo the way it's meant to be, or Kewpie or whatever they call the Korean shit, I'm in. Also, I believe a really good French fry you can put anything on. Hand me like a waffle fry. I'll dip that shit in mayo. I don't care what kind of mayo.
But I will say, your like Ore-Ida crinkle cut, there's really nothing that saves those.
No, but, first of all, I think the crinkle cut French fry in the entire realm of fries is by far way the most lame.
It's the D tier fry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're rarely seasoned. Even if they were, how is it going to hang into those nooks?
Right, and it's too much potato and not enough fry, but then the steak fries go the other direction, right? So now it's redeemed itself because it's usually crispier.
The difference is you can find a good steak fry.
Yeah.
You can also find plenty of crappy planks of nothingness.
Yep.
No, I mean, I think the optimal fry, in my personal opinion, is the waffle fry. I will also accept the spiral cut French fry.
Those are good, but a regular shoestring is fine with me, and I think those dipped in mayonnaise, it can't be crappy mayonnaise. It has to be mayonnaise. It can't be like Miracle Whip. Like, forget that noise.
That's like mayonnaise. Oh, what a nightmare. Now, here's where I turn into a 3-year-old.
Okay.
I will dip anything in ranch dressing.
Or blue cheese, man.
Oh, I'll do that too. I'll do that too. I love sauce with fries. And you said the magic word. It's a shoestring, a true shoestring.
Yeah.
I'm talking the super thin cut.
Yeah.
Who makes
when
those?
when they say steak frites, the fries you get with those, because they're just French fries. So come on,
A double
They're not
fried
frites.
fry is part of that batch.
Yeah.
Here in Maryland, we are, I think, people say they're known for something or famous for something, but they just decided they were.
Yeah.
Maryland's decided the Thrasher style fry is good. I'm 50-50. I'll eat like 10 to 15 of those fries hot.
Yep.
The second Those things have been sitting for more than 10 minutes, though. The Thrasher fries, guys, is what it would look like if you took a whole russet potato, cut it lengthwise into very boring half-inch by half-inch long, rectangles. And they leave the russet skin on both ends. And they're really quick fried, and so they don't get a lot of time to crisp up.
Right.
And then the saving grace, apparently, is you throw Old Bay and a bunch of malt vinegar on those suckers.
That's the saving grace of everything in Maryland's Old Bay.
Indeed. And I'll tell you what, the malt vinegar goes a long way with a lot of things, too.
I love me some malt vinegar. So if you have any thoughts on that, it'd be great if you could reach out to us on our Instagram at Backwards Beats Podcast, or our Gmail, backwardsbeatspodcast@gmail.com, or if you're really, really cool, come over to our Patreon. It's free. We've been pretty stagnant there, only because we don't have many members, but we have some stuff in the works that we're thinking of. We have some other content we've been sitting on that
It's
I've been
a whole board of this will be for Patreon.
Yeah.
Just it's hard to move that knob
when nobody's there.
Well, I think it's because everybody thinks it's paid, but it's totally
free.
Freedom isn't free. It takes folks like you and me.
Or us versus them.
That's right. Us versus them. Wow. Song number 6. Man, that's a fall off. 104 million listens in All My Friends. Song number 5 down to 8.8 million. What happened? I like this tune.
Me too. I even like the Cardboard Box Toms.
That's awesome, dude. Please explain that.
So in like early 70s production, people were taking so on a drum you have a batter head and a resonant head. So
batter head's the top one, y'all.
That's the one you hit. One that you batter. So anyway.
Batter, barely know her.
Yeah. And what that does, and then so what they would do is they take the resonant head off, and then they put like a sweat sock over or dish towel.
I think it was like under the attack head.
Yeah.
Or the batter head. Yeah.
Under the batter head, so it was really dead, thuddy sound, very, very
sound of the 70s, baby.
Sound of the 70s, and that is on full display, but somehow so much more interesting when heard in the soundscape.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think about the open back drums of the 70s. You know, I'm thinking like older Chicago. It comes to mind when you want to hear drums that sound like this.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't the centerpiece of songs, whereas here, because he is a drummer, and because this is dance music in a newer dance fashion, it's really pushed up front. I think that is kind of the funky part that's sticking out to us.
Yeah. I don't know why people don't like this song. I mean, it sounds like a cult.
It does.
Here you get Talking Heads meets Cake with a tiny hint I get of Beds Are Burning by Midnight Oil.
Yeah, that's a great call.
Yeah.
I had that on another tune in this album. What was it? Maybe it was Time to Get Away.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a pulse to this song that is infectious. It's easy to listen to, but you never quite get to connect with the song either.
No, because I can feel the strobe lights in my eyes at the club.
Oh yeah. Are my friends still here?
Yeah.
Where are my shoes?
Until the cult starts chanting.
Indeed. But that's the fun part. This is truly kind of off the rails.
Yeah.
I refuse to use the word unhinged because AI. But
it's a vibe.
Oh God, help me. This is a departure from the last two, and yet isn't terribly reminiscent of the first three. So yet again, our buddy James and team kind of ventured into a new space.
Yeah.
And this one's definitely experimental. This one, you don't open your album on this. It feels a little more risky.
I feel like they're trying to elicit a drug trip.
Yeah. They're definitely doing a callback to one.
Yeah.
This is what happens if you don't get away in Time to Get Away.
Yeah.
This is the B-side.
Yeah, because then you get this timbali, almost drum circle.
I love the amount of percussion.
Yeah.
I think it's great. And it wakes your ears up after having listened to kind of like tunes that, look, everything on this album, with the exception of the last song, is repetitive.
Yeah.
And so but there's repetitive themes or there's repetitive like textures.
Yeah.
This one texturally is very exciting.
Yeah. Well, what's so great about the timbales and the percussion that comes in is because of the cardboard box toms. Timbales are very resonant, so they're completely
Precisely.
opposite.
And they're not deadened at all.
Right.
And so not only is the resonance there because of the timbales, timbale heads are funny. I don't know the science behind why they're tuned the way they are. They are also open back drums.
Yes, but they're very thin heads.
And they're also metal drums.
Yes.
And those have a vibration to them that a lot of wood that has a Jim Zock, for lack of better words. Mine, when I inherited my first kit from one of my uncles, it had open back toms. There weren't even lugs on the bottom anymore.
Right.
Like you couldn't
They were just
put
concert
one, you
toms,
couldn't
yeah.
install one.
Yeah.
And it was pieces of towel
Yeah.
that they had across theirs. I remember taking the head off to get rid of that because I needed something that sounded like Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
And that was not it.
Right.
But here you end up with these timbales in contrast. And timbale is also, because they're small, tuned high, metal, they cut through.
Yeah.
Which these other times wouldn't.
Yeah. You know, actually, this made me think of something we mentioned earlier, that North American Scum, as one of the shorter songs, feels like it lasts for a while. And I was going to bring it up then, but now I think it's perfect to bring it up, is because of the cardboard box toms. If you want to know what that sounds like, listen to the song Something by the Beatles, that opening drum fill.
Yeah.
He's using like tea towels on his drums there. But that's also a song that's only 3 minutes long, but it feels like it takes a long time because it's a perfect song. But it's...
Yeah, all the tempo too makes it feel longer than it is, I'm sure.
Yeah, the fact I love that song, and the fact that it's only 3 minutes, but I don't know why it feels like it's a longer song, because it's a joy to listen to.
I think it's because it's jam-packed with content.
Yeah.
You get that insane guitar tone,
Yeah.
a perfect melody sang by what you consider a perfect vocal performance.
Yeah.
You don't really hear anybody else singing this.
Yeah.
I believe that there's a copy of Rachel Price singing it live on stage with Wolfpack.
Oh, wow.
It's quite good.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah. We'll talk about that album, I'm sure.
I really, really hope so.
Abbey Road?
Yeah. Abby, yeah, sorry. I was like, no, man, bring Wolfpack into the conversation.
I'm pretty sure Abbey Road will be
Or
in.
Lake Street Dive for that matter, just to get them on the
Oh, yeah, Lake
AI
Street
as
Dive.
well. Get it on. No, this song, 8.5 minutes long, y'all. It's the longest one on the album.
Yeah, but this one does not feel long.
It doesn't feel short.
No.
I'll put it this way. Songs that feel longer than it, I think Someone Great feels longer than it, and it's 2 minutes longer than that.
Right.
So there's the comparison.
There you go.
Yeah, it's stunning to be able to put together an hour on 9 songs, frankly. But, this middle 3, for me, is the part of the album I was least interested in, having listened to it 6 times.
Yeah.
And Us Versus Them was where I kind of started to crawl back, which brought us into song number 7, Watch the Tapes.
Watch the Tapes.
And dude, I'm so back. I love this song.
This is the most punk thing on the album.
By a long run.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah, this fuzz bass and a muted acoustic guitar. When I mean muted, it's not like they're palm muting it. They're probably putting something under the bridge.
Yeah, or it's just the technique that they're using is funny. You know,
Yeah.
like it just has so much attitude.
Yeah. The song makes you want to dance, though.
Oh, totally. This is where you start to get, and I'm not saying sonically, but the energy of the Clash for sure.
Yeah.
And the messaging's there. Read the pamphlets, watch the tapes.
Lots of tapes. It's about misinformation and
Totally.
reading the narratives, and
And he has a line. I should have written it down.
we do what you're programmed to do.
No, it's more towards the end of the song. It's like effectively says like if you're over 25, like
Oh, yeah.
you don't care about this shit anymore.
Right.
And so it's like it implies like this is a young man's game, you know,
Yeah.
like to like be here, be revolutionary, don't get too domesticated or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that the energy of this tune's great. It's only 4 minutes long, which is really shouldn't be too much of a statement about it, but I like that it's short and sweet, action packed. They get their message across. The unfortunate piece here is it's the second to least listened to song on the album at just 5.5 million.
Yeah. And there's a synth bass that comes in, which also gives almost like an industrial kind of tonality to it.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. This album I see how all sorts of genres could credit Murphy's work here as kind of an influence, because it really does touch on so much.
Yeah.
And in industrial, look no further than everybody's favorite poster boy, Trent Reznor, when you go that direction, and all the people he's touched.
Yeah.
This is fun though. This is
Not confirmed.
No, sorry, Trent. Forgive me. This song
Influenced.
feels 10 years older than it actually is. Doesn't this feel like it should have come out in 97 versus 2007?
Yeah.
It's funny. You can hear some tunes here that you could have stuck in the 80s. You can hear some tunes here that sound perfect for 2007.
If Tyler Durden went into a club that wasn't Fight Club, the song would be on.
You know what? There you go. Yeah. Just like some shitty dive bar.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically Fight Club.
Yeah.
But no, I hear what you're saying with that.
Yeah.
Any of the bars from The Departed?
Yeah. Potted.
No, this is great. My boys are back in full energy mode here. And I was like, yeah.
Even the Arcade Fire Bridge.
Even the Arcade Fire Bridge, baby.
Yeah. I actually like it, but
I think it fits perfectly.
yeah.
Great tune, full of energy. If you are more rock than EDM-y, you will find your comfort in, pretty much All My Friends, this tune, and probably even North America Scum, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Then you come into what I think might be some of the best lyrics on the whole album.
The lyrics.
Sound of Silver.
Sound of Silver, talk to me, makes you want to feel like a teenager until you remember the feelings of a real life emotional teenager. Then you think again.
And they say it like 4 times.
More than that. They say it for like 4 minutes.
Oh, that's true. No, the whole first half of the song is that.
Yes. And then it becomes a soundscape.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
It's an odd song, man.
Yeah.
They really married that message.
Yeah.
This is the least listened to song in the album. Can you believe this song's 7 minutes?
No, because I actually really enjoy the soundscape outro.
I think the outro is awesome, bro.
Yeah. But I could see, all right, I get the joke, right? Because that line.
I don't think it's a joke.
No. but they keep, they repeat that line many
over
times,
and over, yeah.
right? Yeah, go to genius.com and look up the lyrics for it.
You can pretty much memorize them.
Yeah, I just told you all of them.
Yep, there it is. But what a great snippet of writing.
All right.
And then, but it goes into, the sound, the way that they exit the first half of this song and enter the second part of the song is intense.
Yeah.
Really big. You know, what's that? What do they call? You went to freaking media school. The beginning of the Dolby 5.1 old.
Oh, like the THX sound?
Yeah, the THX sound that just encompasses everything, and you hear
Yeah.
every freaking octave inside of this one massive tone.
Yeah, it's somewhere between a Shepherd tone and the THX thing.
They effectively do something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we won't get into Shepherd tones now. We should talk about Shepherd tone at some point in this.
I'm sure in this today?
In this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Not this episode.
I'm positive that we'll actually stumble over great examples.
Yeah.
This isn't quite it.
No, it's not.
But it plays with a less commonly used musical idea.
Yeah.
Which is frankly overwhelm someone.
Yeah.
And drown them out. And that's a DJ technique.
Right.
You can easily do this in a few ways on a DJ board. You can loop a certain note and then reverb it to death with your effects knob to the point where it's striking, but the reverb chamber becomes so vast, it just overloads and swells up and over.
Yeah.
It was cool because it kind of builds into... How would you describe the soundscape in the second half of this tune?
Well, it's layered. It's mostly synth based.
Yeah, quite synth. It's almost like audio pixelation.
Yeah, because it starts off pretty, I don't know, not very busy.
No.
But then more layers get sprinkled in, and
you start to hear the 16th and the 32nd note arpeggio patterns speckle in, so it gets busier for sure, and you're getting new timbres added in. So once again, it's almost like having a little bit of anxiety, that panic attack, having a quick vertigo session.
It's like an ayahuasca.
Precisely, because everything feels like it's closing in on you because your senses are slowly but surely being saturated.
Yeah,
And there's no resolve.
Nope.
You know, if you're like, hey, like, what's the chord progression? You just kind of laugh that off.
Yes.
It's just, it's noise for the sake of noise. But it's,
but not piercing and uncomfortable.
No. It's very slow. It's
Yeah.
just getting hotter and hotter. I imagine what I feel like sitting in water while it just continuously warms up before you become the boil.
Right.
It's intense. I think it's placed at the right place on the album in song number 8. If there were to be an ending that wasn't the song after this is a very appropriate ending to this album.
Yep.
Because it says something about age and youth that I think to support your title arc or meaning arc kind of here. And you said, you know, he was into his 30s. He's worried about being left behind. I think this actually encapsulates it perfectly.
Yeah.
And, you know, the idea of being does he really want to be a teenager? No, but looking back and being like, do I really want to go through that again? Truly.
Right. I mean, there are times as over the past several years, both of my kids are in, well, one of them's out of college, one's still in college. And we were doing like the college tour. Both my wife and I were like, God, that would be so awesome. We were so envious of the opportunity and all that kind of stuff. And we were way more excited, I think, than they were about the prospect because, you know, youth is wasted on the young. Yeah. So I think that's what's
it's
coming.
It's the hindsight thing. Yeah. It's armchair coaching. Remember, how awesome would it be if you didn't get to go back with the knowledge you have now? Then you're just in it again.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh.
Yeah.
And, you know, we cherry pick the good generally.
Yeah. Yes.
I can remember a lot of times I don't want back. And there's no promise that you get to avoid those.
Right.
So I just think it's a smart song in that sense. I think that if you listen to the very meaningful couple of words there and then feel the ending, the emotion. I mean, there's no doubt that they're trying to push you through that.
The emotion of the teenager.
Yeah. Whew, good job.
Yeah. And the title also comes from during the recording, Murphy he felt like he didn't like recording his vocals. And he actually covered the studio with silver fabric to help him focus and not worry so much about the anxiety he had for recording his vocals. So that this is literally the sound of silver.
I've seen pictures of the studio covered in silver in the past.
Yeah.
That now makes much more sense. I always thought it was tinfoil.
Yeah, I hear silver foil, silver fabric. I've heard different accountings of it.
Whatever they could get their hands on.
I want to believe fabric because if you were recording an album with tinfoil all over the place, how are you getting that sound to not like reverberate?
And also, just imagine covering a room of what's supposed to be highly tuned, you know, electronic instruments.
Yeah.
In foil. It's already hard enough to like make my Jimi Hendrix wah-wah pedal not turn into AM radio through my amp.
Right.
Now put up tinfoil everywhere.
Yeah. So I don't know what the real answer is, but because I've heard both, but
yeah, to me, this track is a must listen. It's not going to sell you as to what makes this group special. It's just an experience that I think is really cool.
Agreed.
Which takes us to the final song, believe it or not.
It does.
New York, I love you, but you're bringing me down.
You know, at first I had mixed feelings about this song. Actually, I was aware of this song, but I didn't know it was on this album.
I mean, it's got 53 million listens, so it's not popular.
Right. It is a popular tune. This is the biggest departure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I actually do really like this song.
I do too. I think it's a brave and bold move. Now, I said Sound of Silver makes for a perfect closing track. You really couldn't have put in this one many other places too without being distracting in the album.
Right.
Though there was an argument I made today to myself, which was you could stick it dead in the middle. But you'd really then have to have different energy levels on both sides of it.
Yeah, if this is a vinyl recording, last song side one, this would be fine.
That would work, but it's not treated that way.
Yeah.
Effectively, you can make the argument here, either Someone Great or All My Friends would be that cut. Yeah. If you're looking at time-wise, it would most likely be All My Friends.
Yeah.
This song, for those who haven't heard it, it's a ballad, and it's done in like a kind of lounge piano sense.
Yeah, from an attitude, not harmonically.
Yeah, but also like its instrumentation is
Yeah.
the furthest out from anything we've heard as well.
Yep. Yeah. And it's so funny. I was talking to my son about this album was playing when I was making dinner last night, and I was talking about this with my son. And the song comes on, and I'm aware of the live version of this. And I said, it so surprised me because there's a really popular live version of this on there because they recorded a live.
I imagine this had to been the last song of the night for the farewell, right?
Yeah. Well, this became like a New York anthem because they did one show in 2010 where they folded in the chorus of Jay-Z and Alicia Keys' Empire State of Mind into it.
Nice.
Right. But the most famous version is in their final show at Madison Square Garden. They expanded into like a 10-minute version interpolating music from Twin Peaks
Okay.
by Angelo Badalamenti,
That's like,
who's
you got
on
Dan now.
Yeah. And it's a cool version of the song. But given everything else, the song feels like, do I want to end with this? I don't even know how it'd feel because if I've been like raving all night, this could be awesome. Like this has to be the last song.
It has to in that respect. I think if you look at this thing as a piece of art in its entirety and the order of tracks,
Yeah.
to me, this is the only sober moment. This is almost like waking up and being like, okay. And when I say sober, I don't necessarily mean on, the influence of drugs and stuff like that, but like the emotionally too.
Right.
Or if you all have ever partied on the speeds over the night, there's this thing about the next morning, the whitewash, right?
Yeah.
And this has that same, oh God, it's almost let me out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's me, not you. Sentiment. It's truly a breakup song that has to do with a city, not a person.
Yeah. And the billionaire mayor and
It encompasses quite a bit.
yeah. No bodegas mentioned.
No, leave that to Arcade 5. This is a unique tune. I understand why it's popular because it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Cities love when other songs have their name in them, and so you do get a little bit of playership there. Mm-hmm. But we've been saying it the whole time. This album just feels New York. Mm-hmm. He obviously is a great patron of it. And if you know this is coming, you can't not talk about it the whole time.
Yeah.
I think that when I break this album up into thirds, the first third really still hits me. That's Carl's like, let's go. Second third, that's where you start to lose me a little bit, but I don't really have a ton of critical feedback about the songs. Life would not be better without them. I want them there. Mm-hmm. And then I really like the last third. I think it's so wild because Watch the Tapes, Sound of Silver, and New York are so different, and they're really experimental.
Yeah.
And they kind of keep this identity just flying all around the room. The thing this album fails to do is ever lock into just one identity, though you feel like it has it the whole time. It's quite confusing.
Yeah. I think because I think the variety of music is potentially where that's coming from. But this still, if you put any of these songs on after listening to this, and let's say I forget how they go, I would believe that this is LCD Soundsystem. Right?
Me too. And I think from a production standpoint,
Yeah,
it's actually pretty pristine across the board.
it is. It sounds fantastic.
Yeah. You can't ever crap on that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where my holdups were initially is I couldn't get over like the bare bones sounding production. First of all, I was like, 2000 whatever. And if you're a young me and you just getting into your first recording interfaces at the time, and you're like, where is all the verb? Where is all the effects and stuff like that? Right.
Yeah.
I'm just not there yet. And then you hear his singing performance, I think was my other big hold up on him. Right. Very similar to how I feel about David Bowie. And certainly prior listening to our album we listened to, 9 albums ago, man.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of cool to be able to walk in with a fresh set of ears and eyes, definitely perspective.
Yeah.
And find some pleasure in this.
So that being said, would you hit it?
I worked on this response all day and still have thrown it out. think I'm going to.
So if I hit it, let's break it down for
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
So hit it. Do you like it? Would you listen to it again? Yada, yada, yada. Does it belong on the list?
Yeah, I like this album. I will listen to this album again. I would buy this album on vinyl. I think it's special.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's incredibly unique, and I don't think I'm done exploring it yet.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Okay.
Does it belong on the top 500 albums of all time list? There's 2 check marks I like to look at.
Yeah.
Personally, do I like it, or what did it do influence-wise? I think if you look at the latter, there's no way this wasn't unique, influential. It needs to be documented in the list of time. If this would be the list of time, then my answer is yes.
Yeah.
I still, in my mind, seek the more drum-driven electro push, though I think that the playing is fascinating. And so my question would be, do they have another album on the list? If the answer is no, then I think that this belongs where it is. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
If the answer is yeah, they have another album on here further down, so there might be a better one, that's my only reservation, my only hang up, Dan.
Yeah.
And so there's no way for me to know. I mean, there could be, but we don't really look ahead. So
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead right now and just trust all the other points I made and say, yeah, I really enjoyed this experience. I am okay with this being on the list. Yeah, I am.
Yeah. I've waffled on this as well.
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed the album.
Because I honestly had no idea walking into this room today.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're hearing the thought process real time for me too. Cause I didn't initially I said no.
Me too.
And then initially I said, because I am a Chemical Brothers fan, I'm like, if they're not on this list, then put them there instead because I like Chemical Brothers so much. But I don't know your point. Like,
I played the instead game yesterday. I was like, okay, so who would I put there instead to take the place, to hold the torch right here?
yeah.
And I really couldn't come up with much.
And the only reason I thought that is the firstness of it, even though this is different. This is not the same music.
No, and that's the problem. I have to get this out of my head that they're actually competing with a Chemical Brothers, a Fatboy Slim, like the ones I mentioned earlier.
Yeah. And it wasn't until like 8 or 9 listens that I'm like, I don't know why I'm worried about that part of the conversation because it's not the same music. It's not.
Yeah, because we care.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, I like this album. I would listen to it. And I guess I'm in the same boat here because I know this was influential, but there's not a lot copying it, which is interesting. So
It feels like one of one, doesn't it?
right. So then is that the reason it goes on the list? Because if nobody's copying it, the whole reason he started the whole band is everyone was copying him.
Yeah.
And nobody's copying him.
This sounds a lot like last week, though. We were doing this with Pavement, too. And you can actually go back and look at that and make that argument, too, for them.
Right.
It's kind of one of one.
Yeah.
Pavement, we named a million people that it sounds a little bit like
Yeah.
did the same thing last week.
Yeah.
So?
Yeah. All right, fine. Let's do it. Let's hit it.
Hey,
Let's
we
hit
in,
it.
baby.
Well, we'll do it because I enjoyed it so much. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
Will I come to regret it? Only time will tell.
Yeah. I don't know. And I still think there's that list of 500 greatest albums of all time and 500 albums you should definitely listen to.
Sure. I would put
And
this
I put it on that.
on the
100%.
ladder. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, what a trip.
Yeah.
This was a really fun one. This yet again, and I started this episode off with saying really think season 4 has been eye-opening and really great collections of music here. This was something that I probably would have never found my way into. Happy I did. I'm a better guy on the other side for it.
Yeah. Awesome.
So James, have us up to your restaurant in New York sometime, will you, buddy?
Yeah. That'd be great.
All right.
Another question for you.
Oh gosh, yes.
What is in your ears?
Inspired by people I think have, in my mind, kind of been written into one corner when they might actually not be. Mm-hmm. I started looking at older musicians, specifically ones where I owned their vinyl because I've inherited it. Mm-hmm. and thought, I can get into this. Let's go see who they really are behind the cover. And I opened up some of the catalog of one Rupert Holmes.
Escape, the Pina Colada song
Pina Colada song guy. In fact, that album, right, literally starts off with that song. Song number 1 is Pina Colada. And talk about some 70s ass tom-toms.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was one of my favorite songs when that came out.
Guys, that song still slays.
Yeah.
I understand that for a while it became like,
a trope.
the Key West old guys song to play at a bar before Mustang Sally. But it's back, y'all. It's a fantastic. It might be a perfect song, honestly.
Yeah.
Storytelling is great. And that song serves Rupert Holmes' style of singing and storytelling and playing.
Yeah.
He's distinct. I'm not in love with all of his attributes. That album, by the way, I believe is called Partners in Crime.
That sounds right.
Which I think is the second song on the album. And the reason I remember this after a couple of listens is he has a collection of music. He kind of has 2 or 3 styles he'll filter through.
Yeah.
He'll try and do this like very Jim Croce operator style. Not for him. That's Rupert Holmes is too brash for that.
Yeah.
There's a couple of songs like that on widescreen. They're called widescreen.
Yeah.
Is one of them that's pretty well known. It just you don't sell me. You're not a great enough vocalist. You're not a great enough producer. Your storytelling style is very canned. However, any song that has to do with cheating on somebody, man, this guy runs them.
Well,
So,
I mean, Escape's about
literally Escape.
Yeah.
Partners in Crime. It's talking literally the first verse is about like that show The Deuce. I feel like stole the storyline.
Yeah.
Girl gets off a bus from Wyoming, immediately gets pimped in New York City.
Yeah.
Second verse, I believe, is like dude and a chick work in an office together, and he bosses around all day, but he goes home, then she becomes a dominatrix and gives him pain. He has a whole song called Lunch Hour, just about people going F it out on their lunch hours. Like, when you want to get a little funky, a little weird, Rupert Holmes is your man.
All right.
You want a wah-wah pedal and some funky-ass guitars, Rupert Holmes is your man. You want strummy shit, leave it to the singer-songwriter guys.
Yep.
So anyway, Rupert Holmes, respect, bro. I like some of your catalog. How about you, Dan?
It's okay. It's okay. It's not bad. No, sorry. It's not bad. Gotta get that right. God, that Boblo.
Oh, Boblo.
So I went down a very different path.
You didn't also listen to Rupert Holmes?
No, a very, very different but it somehow came out. I don't even know how it came out of listening to this because it's not even closely related. So there's this band out of Pittsburgh called Storm and Stress.
Okay.
And they only have 2 albums out. And I know them because I know the drummer. I went to college with the drummer. And they're like this experimental rock band. And
That's when they're not playing Dungeons and Dragons?
there's no Dungeons and Dragons here. The drummer, his name is Kevin Shea, is one of the, he's one of those weird guys, but but he'll let you sit in the weirdness. He's also like charismatic and charming, but he'll also just say something so weird. I'm like, I'm not sure what.
Oh, nice. No, I
He's
got friends like
He's
this.
so funny, and perfect for this. And so this music is not for everybody. The songs are long. The song titles of we write Therenities, we write with explosions. They're long song titles. It's very experimental. But what's interesting about it is I would encourage anybody who's willing to go down this path to go down here, because at first blush, you might feel like it's people just playing instruments. But then it's like, oh no, there's a groove behind some of this chaos, some of the storm and stress that is sitting in there. And my younger son likes some pretty experimental stuff. We were listening to this last night, and the song is, I think the song we're listening to is Guitar Cabinet Stack, Way High is Freedom, or Gravity Gives Us Rhythm. And it sounds, again, at first, it just sounds like there's some noise there, and we're sitting there, and I'm like, this is tempo, right? He's like, yes, that's the tempo. He didn't even realize it because some of it's sparse.
Okay.
And
which takes a lot of maturity and trust and,
Yes.
and sometimes engineering to pull off.
yes, yeah. So it's very interesting. And the last thing I'll talk about this is because I also like, because I know how the album cover is made. I'm going to turn it around here and show it to you.
Is it a shit robot?
No, it's not. Right.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Right. So the way they film this, so what we're seeing here are people looking like they're wiping out. They're in an apartment. There's a chessboard and a table. It's falling over. Everything's
over,
falling apart.
yeah.
So the way they shot that is they rented a U-Haul truck. They set up the apartment and then put the camera in there, and then had the person take off in the U-Haul, and they all just ate shit.
There you go. Love it.
And they did like 3 or 4 times, so they got the best
Respect
picture.
my art.
So great. So Storm and Stress is the album. Storm and Stress is the band. So
Cool.
And I actually have this on vinyl because I bought it from him. Like he had it
Sick.
to me. Yeah. So it was a recall back to another day in my life.
I love that.
So
Well, what a joy. And then do you know what we're getting into the next week for listening?
it's time for Confessions by Usher.
Ursher.
Yeah.
I love Ursher.
Yeah.
And this
man
is a long album, if my memory serves me correct. I think it's like
19 tracks.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah. That man can wear a beanie though. He crushes the beanie.
I think he can do push-ups too.
I think he can.
I think wasn't there a recent headline that he like kicked someone off of stage because he's trying to do the Chris Brown thing, like like bring a hot girl up and serenade them, but like lay them on a couch and essentially like faux do your moves on them.
Right.
And I think this chick like wasn't into it, and he's like, "Get her out of here!" I just injected her.
Yeah, maybe that was something you could do in 2004. Maybe not in 2026.
He's so 2000 late.
Yeah.
Well, all that and more next week on Backwards Beats Podcast. I'm Carl Carter, Fansteel.
I'm Dan. Grapefruit Woodard.
That was a show about Sound of Silver by LCD Soundsystem. It makes you wanna be a teenager.
Backwards Beats Podcast is a Tuna-Wood production recorded live at Thought Shack Studios in Halethorpe, Maryland.
If you enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You can find us at Backwards Beats Podcast on most platforms.
Share the love, and we'll see you next week for another deep dive into the next album on Rolling Stone Magazine's Top 500 list. Until then, salt your melons.